Next, let's continue to complete the fern stitch. The fern stitch is quite similar to the fly stitch. These two stitches look similar on the surface. However, there are differences in the actual stitching. Now let's take a closer look. How has the fern stitch worked? We are also using 4 strands of floss here. Let's first demonstrate a single fern stitch. It consists of 3 straight lines. First, stitch the center straight stitch. Then, move the needle to this position and insert the needle back into the center. Bring the needle out from the right side, then insert the needle again into the center. In this way, 3 straight lines are formed. Let's demonstrate it once again. First, embroider the center straight line, then stitch the straight line on the left side. Finally, bring the needle out to the right side and insert the needle back into the center. Now, let's demonstrate the final stitch again. Bring the needle out to the right side. Then for the last stitch, insert the needle back into the center position. With this, the stitch is completed. Next, let's continue with the second variation. The second variation is also embroidered continuously. Bring the needle out at the middle triangle position. Then bring the needle out on the left side. Insert the needle back into the center, pointing to the right, and then insert the needle upwards. Repeat the previous steps to form 3 straight lines. This stitching method is often seen in plant patterns. It does not require a final stitch after inserting the needle, as the stitch is already in its completed state. You can simply tie a knot at the back. Let's compare the differences between these 2 stitches. The difference is at the end of the stitch. In one method, there is a fixed position, while in the other, there is no positioning. One method results in a smooth and continuous finish, while the other finishes immediately after inserting the needle. This is the key difference between the two.